Here it is. Finished phase one. I got a crushed gravel, crushed limestone, rough prep for concrete, form 2x6 all the way around at a certain elevation. That will put the concrete elevation at the top of that board, which is equal to the asphalt out in this area here. From there it rolls down to us here. So whether we do asphalt right up and in here in the future or a new concrete pour, you want to be able to go down and away. I didn't want to start in here at this elevation flush or closer to flush with this here, because it's all just downhill with water, and that's a no-no when it comes to construction. So we shot with the laser and established that we could go, and you can see it here. If I dip down, you can see, puts this out here. With elevation. So all of our knees are in place. These knees in this aspect prevent racking in this direction, which is to say changing, opening up from 90 or closing 90-degree angles, both directions like that. We are unable to throw a knee in here, but we have a big one on this side, which will keep this from opening at all, which would mean the building was being pushed that way, and closing and all, which would mean the building's being pushed that way in this aspect. And at the back, we could sneak a big knee in, which we made. He's laying out back, but we're gonna leave that for next time. For now, it's just a 2x4 because we gotta remove some more of this wall covering to be able to anchor him into the post and remove a stud there. So, oh, and we have a knee waiting to go in here that should clear the French doors, but doesn't clear the window. So those are lying over there. And there's our lumber from this wall staged. Our lumber from this wall is laying upstairs. All the studs have been removed. For the most part, it leaves all the siding, you know, it's all kind of baggy, saggy, but it is all there. There are some pieces of siding that start and finish between posts, so you could actually just knock them out. All the short pieces between these two openings could just be knocked out. So this certainly isn't a permanent situation, and you'd lose a few pieces and have to put them back. It's easy enough if we had a windy day, but you know, of siding. But this is a good place to pause. This wall is just held in place for right now. It needs to be reframed to the floor, and then this edge can be trimmed plumb and the opening will be square. So for right now, it creates kind of a optical illusion. Same with the door upstairs that was framed, or it may have been here since the building was new, but once the building sagged, somebody may have adjusted it, looks like, so that it would continue to work, and then this building sagged further, so it wasn't working when we got here, and I was under the impression it would go back to working when we straightened the building out. But now our building is nice and plumb level and square everywhere, but here we need to trim that. But as you can see, the door still doesn't fit. And I went up there and messed with it a little bit, so it must have, like I said, been changed halfway through the sagging process. You know, which is why we try not to do much of that, because really the thing to do is to straighten the building out, not build to crookedness. The rim board, or the form board here, wanders a little bit because of there's nothing holding it. When you come to pour concrete, it'll be pinned. There'll be pins out here to hold it, and you pull a string to make sure it's lined up with a tight string and nice and straight. But that's you know, these are just on here with like one screw, just to give me something to work to when I was grading the gravel. Put our downspouts and stuff back on here, riveted those back on with some nice holders, and got the water coming away. The fence used to fit from here to the building, and remember, if you remember, it took this piece of trim from the back with it. We put the building back to the best of our ability where it came from, but it looks like we are nearer by about, maybe, you know, we came closer this way by 4 or 5 inches. Not perfectly exactly back where the fence fits, but that's okay. And we got most of the little divots and stuff filled. Here's where we had to dig up the driveway, because our only angle of attack on this post hole was kind of in this direction. We put the pieces back in some cold patch asphalt, and then we dusted some fines from the crush run up on top of the cold patch asphalt, which kind of helps dry it out. You don't want it to be like that little spot there, glossy and shiny. It's like 90 something degrees today. It's been 80, high 80s, low 90s all week. It's like a heat wave in Western New York. So this will take some time to pack up tight, but it will do it. And got the stairs back, just temporary for now. like we were saying, these joists have all been cut off for the sake of these stairs, so this was all sagging and falling apart. So we got in here with a shore and took this joist up kind of level with the rest. This one's still a little low because he's been cut off, but we got it underneath all of this with a 2x4, and then we, you know, strapped that to the side of these lower stairs and put those there. Of course, there's no landing, but this is perfectly usable right now for adults. Supported all this stuff all the way up, and that's because we're going to try and reuse these stairs when the concrete's here, but there's going to be some time and expense in using some of the old studs. I decided to frame this all out, frame the landing, put the mesh lumber that goes on the landing that's out there back, and put it all together here so that it matches this tone, this wood tone, and looks like it's been here for forever. That takes some doing. So for now, this is kind of just scabbed in, certainly safe and structurally sound, but not permanent. We'll put some of this up so that Norman, their poodle, doesn't investigate the building. The corners and stuff are unbuttoned. It's just a nice place to pause while we wait for the pad. The next step is concrete. So hopefully we will be back when that time comes to do that pour and finish the building. And our clients are going to keep this big long beam that came out. The one side, it was totally trash and I burned it, but this side had some rot. But overall, the other three sides of it look pretty good, so they may get some use out of it. But it's time to duck out of here for today. And stay tuned, we may come back and do phase 2 on this in the future. Thanks for watching, we'll see ya. Fix that little barn, just don't look at that. Nice and straight. Okay, bye.